If you want to grab the Depression Handbook or do an holistic self-improvement coaching call with me for free, both links are in the description. So by living like that, you will basically be on autopilot, and the pilot will be these reactions. And this, as I said, lead to nothing good, because those will be unconscious. In this video, we are going to talk about why reactivity is one of the most detrimental and damaging things in your life and what we can do about it. We will understand the phenomena, and I'll give you practical ways in which you can become more conscious about it and so be able to respond rather than react. Okay, so why reactivity is so damaging? Well, when you react to phenomena, to inputs from the external world or the internal, you are usually unconscious about it. That means that you are in this state of reaction to inputs without being conscious of the reaction that you are having. This can cause you to be lost in this bundle of reactions, and that dictates your whole life. When we are in a state of reactivity, it's usually not anything good. With that I mean that the reaction, being unconscious, are source of suffering. Let's make a really clear example. Let's say that someone insults you and you instantly react by, I don't know, fighting him or insulting him, or even in your own mind you'll have a reaction, an internal reaction, for example, of anger or whatever it is, but you will have a reaction and probably will not be conscious of it. And the fact that you are not conscious of it will make that reaction dictate your life. This means that you will be at the effect of all these reactions, and until you become aware of them, you don't know how much damage they are causing to your life. And trust me, they are causing a lot of damage, and you can see that by becoming more aware of them. We'll go over how in the next part of the video. So this reactivity can cause you a lot of confusion, can destroy your relationship, can destroy your mind. With that I mean that you will just feel so bad in the end, because it's just not a good way to live, and you will just be lost in this flow of reactivity. So by living like that, you will basically be on autopilot, and the pilot will be these reactions, and this, as I said, lead to nothing good, because those will be unconscious. And once you start to really notice that, you see how different it is to live from a place of consciousness where you are responding rather than reacting. You may wonder, how can I respond rather than react? Well, the main thing is creating a gap. And with gap I mean when you have a reaction to something and you become aware of the reaction rather than just acting out the reaction, a small gap will be created and you will be observing the reaction rather than being identified with it. Maybe there will be some identification with it, but you'll be able to just see it. And even if you feel that you want to act it out, the more you observe them, the more you can stay on that gap. And this gap is so key. This gap is created by being conscious, and from that gap you can respond consciously rather than react. And this is life-changing for such a lot of things. For example, for bad habits and addictions. This is the key to overcoming addiction, in my opinion, because whenever you have a craving, the craving itself is not the problem. When you have a craving, usually unconsciously react to it and get it satisfied. You just manage the craving by consuming the substance or doing whatever you do to make the craving go away. But that's the reaction. That's just the reaction that you do to manage it. If in the other end you are aware of the craving and you stay on that gap where you are aware of the craving, you can just watch it until it goes away spontaneously, or you can watch it and in that gap respond to it consciously. So maybe decide to do another thing which you know that will take your mind off of it. For example, go to take a cold shower, or go work out, or go out. And by doing this, you will reprogram your mind, will reprogram the reaction of your mind to that craving. And so the next time that the craving comes up, you will not react in the same way, or you will still have the reaction, but you will be conscious of it. And so you will not need to act it out, because you will be aware of the fact that it is an unconscious and programmed reaction in your mind, and it can be rewired thanks to the neuroplasticity of your brain. And there are ways to to speed up the process of rewiring through increasing NGF, which augments neuroplasticity. And of that, I will go deeper into another video in the future. I already did a video about this with the best nootropics that you can take to increase NGF, but as I said, I'll go deeper into that topic in a next video. So the more conscious you are, the higher your level of baseline consciousness during the day, the less reactive you'll be. And this will massively improve your whole life. As I said, especially if you are struggling with depression or mental health. Mental health, I say, because a lot of reactivity is caused by bad mental health. A lot of criticizing toward yourself is reactivity, and this causes a lot of suffering. So by having a higher level of baseline consciousness, you'll not be so reactive, and you'll not even feel the need to react. You'll just be fine with observing the reaction as it is and staying in yourself. So there is nothing you have to do with the reaction, because that will be other reactivity. For example, people who start to meditate, maybe they try to stay on the breath, and whenever they get distracted, they react. Their mind reacts by saying, oh no, I must stay on the breath. I don't have to be distracted. And that's a reaction. Then they react to their reaction and say, oh no, I must not think that. I must come back to the breath. See, that's just reaction on top of reaction. And this is the damaging movement of the mind. This reaction of a reaction of a reaction. And the only way to break that is by becoming conscious of that. Because when you become conscious of that, you interrupt the flow of reactions. So this is the key. So what can you practically do about this? Well, I recommend you to sit in meditation and watch all your reactions. So the only thing that you have to do is watch all your reactions. So maybe you sit and you have a reaction to an uncomfortable sensation in your leg. You watch that reaction. You have a reaction to your own thoughts. You watch that reaction. You feel that you want to get up and stop meditating. You watch that reaction too. And the more you do that, the more you will be able to stay in that gap where you just watch the reaction and do nothing. Because every doing is a reaction itself. So this becomes really life-changing when during your day, your baseline becomes higher, and so you are able to notice the reaction even when you are in the daily flow of life, even when you are working or you are out with people or whatever you are doing. You will be able to see your reaction, and by that maybe you will not be able to always be on the gap and respond consciously, but at least you will see how the reaction are influencing your life. You will see how your reaction are causing most of your bad mental state. So it will not be something that happens to you, but you'll be aware that you are creating that with your reaction. And this is so empowering, because when you see that, you can stop doing that. You can just stop reacting in that way, and therefore stop to creating your suffering. So really start to see all your reaction on a daily basis. This will radically change your life for the better, and you'll see how even after just some days, you'll become aware of so many things that you do that create suffering without any reason, and you will be able to be free of them just by being aware of them. That's the beauty of mindfulness. If you found any value in this video, I recommend you to check also the Depression Handbook, which is a book that I wrote about depression and anxiety, and the best tools and nootropics and behaviors that you can implement in your life to get out and stay out of depression. It can be found for free in my website. Also, if you are struggling with something in self-improvement or want to improve your physique, reprogram your mind, or become more aware of reality in yourself, you can book a free coaching call with me in the link below. That said, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.